All eyes on the gantry, and let's go racing here at Daytona Tamworth. He's getting pushed along through the first corner, gets tapped on the outside by the driver there. I think that is James Estrop. I think around the outside, he's managing to hold that first place as they're heading down into turn 4. I think that's James down in 4, just behind Xiaofeng, and he goes for a darting move up into third place, managing to claim back the mistake they had right at the start there. Not quite sure who is in second. I believe it's Adam State, and then further down the grid there is a few people moving around, but for now it's pretty much single file apart from the last three. What is going on there? 3 wide coming out of that turn there, but James is still leading as he comes round turn 9 going into 10, and there's a little bit of a healthy gap forming as James looks to make the overtake on Xiaofeng there, but just doesn't manage to make it set. James is heading now into turn 12. He's got a little bit of a gap between, a little bit of a buffer, but that will slowly disappear as James Estrop makes the move. Well done from him. I think that was actually Charlie he managed to get the overtake on, not Xiaofeng. Very simple suits. James has pulled off a bit of a lead there, trying to break that toe there, and there's a healthy gap between 1, 2 and 3. Let's have a look at your running order so far after lap 1. Oh, that's really helpful. My live timing's not on the screen. Good job, I've got another one right in front of me. So I do believe it's James Clare, followed by Adam State, then James Estrop, and then it's great because I've not got any other names. So I'm just going to have to try and work this out until I've got a live timing. I believe it's Charlie, and then not sure after that, then it's Xiaofeng, not sure after that, then it's Barney Williams, then someone else, Henry Walter and Christopher Tate. Isn't it great when technology doesn't work? But what I can tell you is the gap with the top 3, it is 1.183 seconds to James Clare, and he's got a healthy half a second on Adam State there, but James Estrop on the first turn tries to make the overtake. They're side by side going through turn 2. Can he get a better run coming out of turn 3? Let's find out. This is perfect for James Clare and perfect for my championship points here for our team. As he starts to pull away with a now 0.8 second gap. What an absolute brilliant day for James and for me. But James Estrop is only 0.1 behind Adam State there. Absolutely closing the gap on there, and right behind him, I think that's Charlie trying to close in. It is Charlie, and he's right on the back of the bumper once again. James, please, for the love of God, pull away, get some points. As we head into turn 10, that's Adam State holding off James Estrop. I've got a feeling James Estrop's going to go for another move here. He's eyeing it up. He doesn't go down at turn 12, but can he get a good run out of the corner into the first one? It looks pretty healthy to me, but that's Charlie right in his bumper. And I mean, Charlie's actually going to be eyeing up an overtake by the time we get to turn 4. The gap between Adam and James Clare out in front is now 0.8, and the gap between James Estrop to Adam State is only a 0.4. So Adam is pulling away very, very slowly. Charlie, the driver behind, has managed to close down to a 0.3 gap there. If anyone knows how to get live timing working here in Tamworth, it'd be very helpful right now. It does look like, though, in my eyes, that James Clare is getting closed in on by Adam State. I'll be able to tell you the gap for that one, because luckily that bit of live timing is working. The top 3 have definitely closed in, and so is the top 4. James did have a nice healthy lead at the start of this race, but that has suddenly disappeared. I don't know what corner went wrong for him, but he needs to fix that now if our team wants to get any championship points. He comes round turn 1 and the gap has dropped to a 0.5, so Adam's managed to claim 0.3 there, and James has managed to claim another 10th on Adam State there. Coming out of turn 4 there, James looks like he's managed to build a bit of a gap. No, under braking, there is Adam State. Of course he is. What I expect, anything less. And James Estrop also under braking, coming into turn 6 there, has managed to close that gap. I'd imagine by the time we get to the timeline, all the times will be the same, but who knows when I've not got live timing. We'll have to try and figure it out when we get round there. But James is trying his best to defend off Adam State there. Adam State and James Estrop have been at the top of the time sheets all day today. James not so much. However, he is holding his own right now as we come through turn 12. Adam State is very much getting closer, and so is James Estrop. And my blood level is rising as we head through turn 1, 2, and 3. Adam State is a hell of a lot closer than he was a few laps ago. Only 0.2 now, it was 0.8 last lap. That overtake is going to be coming. So James, if you can hear me, for the love of God, please defend that man off. And as we head into turn 5, they're getting ever so close, and so is James Estrop. They're not managing to drop him here, so it looks like James is actually defending way harder than he needs to be. He needs to try and break this toe, but it ain't happening. They are closing in, and there's also a pack right behind, I believe, of Charlie. Not sure the other driver is, because we love live timing, and I believe Xiaofeng also closing in into that 4th position battle there. As we come round to turn 12, James has managed to build a tiny gap. Will that be enough when they come onto the main straight? Because James Estrop is a hell of a lot closer to Adam State now. So will that battling allow James to potentially pull away as we head down into turn 3? There's a healthy gap building I see there. It doesn't look like Adam State is closing in on James, and James actually pulled away 0.2, but he went way too wide coming out of turn 4, which has allowed Adam State to really close up onto that bumper. That 0.5 gap he had before has gone well out the window, as an overtake is imminent from Adam State. He's trying his best. He's got one wheel over his back quad. Can he make it? He nearly does. He tries to dive down the inside, but there just isn't enough room. James is there, and down the inside he tries and just manages to hold up, which means James Estrop is back into the picture and managed to get the overtake on to Adam State. Wow, James got a hell of a lot lucky there. Let's see if he can hold off for another, I believe, 5 minutes of this race. These 3 are going to be going toe to toe. James Estrop will be loving that battle there that just happened in front of him, but Adam State, I'm sure, will come straight back at him as they are extremely matched on pace currently. James Estrop looks like he's going about 0.5 quicker than both the drivers in the top 3. And look how close they are going into turn 5. This is such close racing. I'm so surprised we've not had any contact so far. Look at the drivers, they head down into turn 7 there. Basically bumper to bumper as they come through turn 8 into 9. I'd grab a headset, Matthew. This is unbelievable.
Right, so we have James Clare leading the way,
My teammates.
and now I'm getting involved, so the commentators are definitely not biased. Oh my god, it's so close. Heart rates are high right now. But best lap time just came. Okay, so the best lap time of everybody here is still set by James Clare, but the last lap time are always going to James Estrop and Adam State because they're just hounding him around the track. He does seem to be parking it on the white line. Did you tell him to do that?
I tried to teach him, but as my defending shows today, I'm not the best.
Well, maybe he's the prodigal son because he's doing it. He's still defending. He's covering the inside of turn 7. He needs to cover himself off to the kink of turn 8. This was the chink in the arm of the last time round. So close as James Estrop fancied to move down the inside. Now he tried to go around the outside of turn 10, and James is showing the outside.
Shut the door!
Shut the door! Oh my! He backed off. He tried to show the outside of the kink of turn 11, but don't back off too much because they're going to go around the outside of you, James. That's way too far. Now, Adam State, James Estrop and James Clare separated by less than 3/10. They head into turn 3. Will Clare be shuffled wide? No, he comes to the inside and instead it's Adam State down the inside. State and Estrop side by side as they run down towards turn 5. And James Clare is the one who is benefiting from this, but he hasn't benefited all too much. He's wide out the exit, and Adam State
is wide. Oh.
Adam State nearly made 2 moves in 2 sentences, but James Clare just about hangs on to the lead, and he has built what looks like quite a healthy gap at this point, but now, anonymous.
We'd love to tell you who.
Timing. So James Clare from James Estrop is a James 1 and 2, and he covers the inside. He needs to be careful to avoid a switchback, but he knows what he's doing. He's wishing the cart forward. Don't get cut back, James. James 1 against James 2. He knows that if he covers the inside of turn 12, he's going to be vulnerable to the inside of turn 2, but he moved over to the right-hand side prematurely. He's doing exactly the same thing as turn 4 now, covering the inside line, forcing James too wide. focusing on the exit. He has Adam State all over him. As now they run towards turn 5. He isn't wide this time, and he's not vulnerable into turn 6. Tricky braking zone, make sure not to go wide, as James Estrop nearly did. Their last lap times are all about a second a lap slower than what they did when they were in clean air. So now, Anonymous, Adam State, James Estrop and James Clare are all fighting hard, toe-to-toe in this race. Ahead of also Anonymous is holding up the group behind him of Xiaofeng Yang and Anonymous number 3. So James is showing, I would say, just a little bit too much vulnerability going into turn 11. Will he be vulnerable to the cutback here? James Estrop is side by side going through turn 1. He shuffles him out wide. They're going to go 2 by 2 through turn 2. That is not what happens through there. Now Adam State goes up the inside of James Estrop. They're going to make contact.